You know, as we get into our 40s and we start to heal, we're healing from past traumas, we're healing from a lot of pain. And so that means that we're no longer the wounded healer. Hold on a minute. I've been having trouble with my setup. I've been trying a couple different things as always because I can't help it. There we go. You're going from being the wounded healer to the healed healer. This is the part that people around you don't get. They don't understand it. They still see you as that person that you were when they left you, before you hermited, before you went to shine a light on things that were happening, before you put yourself in hangman position and you were like upside down thinking like, what the hell? What is going on here? What do I do with my life? How do I change my perspective on things, right? And while you were doing that, you're like, you're turning into solitary. And here's the thing about being the healed healer. You can't become the healed healer without going into solitary. And so many people do not want to be alone. They want a lot of people around them. They are so used to competition and conflict as a way to make it appear as if they are glowing up, that's all they know, right? And maybe at one time you participated in that, but you are no longer participating because now you are healed. And you didn't get to being the healed healer by conflict, confrontation, and chaos and competition. That you did not do all those things. Those things becoming the wounded healer, first of all, was you healing yourself and having that introspection, right? That you didn't have a choice because it was either you got to the make or break point, right? Where everyone was tugging on your energy. You were giving your energy to everyone else except yourself. And then you woke up one day, something happened, right? Whatever that dark night of the soul, whatever event that was that threw you into the dark night of the soul, you realize it's my soul or theirs, right? And realizing that, you have to take a step back because it wasn't easy to step back and say, oh, I'm not going to interact with these people. I'm not going to show up the same way anymore, right? This took work. This took a little bit at a time. And even though you were maybe you weren't showing up at all. Maybe by the time you showed back up, these people were like, who are you? Like, what happened to that compassionate, sweet Pisces that we used to take advantage of, that we used to be able to manipulate? And by the way, yes, a lot of Pisces go through this in their lifetime, but this is not just specific to Pisces, because it's not just Pisces who are empaths. This is the empath's journey. This is the empath's journey. And so when you emerge, right, when you close cycles, you go through the Three of Swords, you go through the Ten of Swords, right? Like, it wasn't bad enough, heartache and pain. It was almost like until they left you unalive that you realized, like, you were like, that's it. Like, either, I'm carrying all these burdens. I have all these wands that I'm carrying. I don't know who they belong to. I have all these swords in my back, and I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get up from this. That you started to heal it, to become the healer, because you finally figured out how to heal yourself. And the interesting thing about this is that when you first get to this, and I know this firsthand from experience, the whole experience leaves you a little bit numb because you are so used to being in your feelings, pouring out your cup all the time, that when you have to stop, you have to stop. Like, it's almost like you pull back 100% and you become that Queen of Swords, that King of Swords. And if you are it's almost like you go to being from being this doer, right? So when you're in your emotions and pouring out your cup like that all the time, We think that that's feminine to do that, right? But the truth is that the doers are the masculine. So you're truly at that point, you're more in your masculine energy of doing for everyone. But everyone told you that that was being feminine. When in reality, being in your feminine energy is being able to receive compliments, being able to receive and have someone do something for you. I know for me, when I started, I started by just simply never asking anyone, even my husband, to do anything for me, to simply saying, hey, can you take out the trash? Right? And even though I knew like sometimes he would do it, but getting used to being able to ask for that, to say, hey, can you place the order tonight for dinner? Or hey, would you be able to throw that load of clothes in the laundry for me? Or I'm taking these out of the laundry, can you fold these for me? See, before I would just do it all by myself, and I would be angry that they were not helping, because I thought, I'm being so feminine. But you can't help. But when people see you doing everything all the time, they come back for more because they want you to do more. It's never enough, and the cup becomes beyond empty. And what I'm getting to is that at one point, when you start to step back into that feminine energy of receiving, you appear to everyone, and maybe even to yourself, because that's why you feel guilty, is because you feel numb. You feel like eventually that emotion, that whatever you were feeling that made you feel like you had to constantly do, you don't feel it anymore. And so it becomes scary, because you're just like, well, how come I don't feel that? And I want to share this with you because maybe some of you are feeling this way. And what I'm finding is that feeling, that empty feeling or that numbness, is that, like for me, I was no longer looking for what other people were feeling so that I can fill up their cup. And that can leave you feeling numb, because this has become such a habit. It's a habit that we have of just, we automatically sense, right? That's why you're an empath, because you learn to do it. And so you do it, you can do it with your eyes closed, sense what other people are feeling. But when you had to shut it all out so you can hear yourself and what you were feeling, it left you kind of feeling numb. And so as you go back out into this world and you're navigating and you're starting to feel again, because you had to figure out how to open up the floodgates and how to close them, right? But still part of you is numb. Every time you close it, you're like, is it safe to open it right now? Right? Even with your significant other, right? Because part of that is, let's say like you're ready to open up that floodgate and they're not in the mood. You might feel rejected, and then you close off again. So every time you approach that person, you're approaching them with kind of closed off. So in a sense, on this new journey, it's learning to be vulnerable again, so that, and realizing that now that you've learned and you know that you can open and shut off the floodgates of emotion, that you are able, it's okay to feel. It's okay, especially if you have someone in your life, and you know you have someone in your life where you feel safe with, right? And right now you've learned the lessons. You know what to do. You know what's safe. Your intuition is wide open, and you're ready. You're ready for this. You're ready for love. You're ready to feel that feeling of connection again, right? And you have to, now it's relearning that you're safe, that it's safe, and it's relearning that without going overboard, right? And here's the thing. Once you've become the healed healer, there isn't any going back, because you know what that Ten of Swords feels like. You know what it feels like to be carrying those wands that didn't even belong to you, all those burdens that didn't belong to you. You know what it took, the amount of magic and when I say magic, your magic, how it took to pull back all the magic that you were giving to others, to give it to yourself, to do the work, the mirror work, the journaling, the meditations, right? And this is work that you continue to do. So you're to the point where you're constantly And if you're not, you need to be constantly, on a daily basis, having time for yourself, where that time belongs to you, and remind yourself that it's safe to go out. But the crazy thing is that you're still going to be showing up as a new person. People that are around you, who were around you before, will never get the same version of you. Never. And if they are looking for that old version of you and they're not happy, people will fall off from your life because they're looking for the old version. And that's not who you are anymore. And I can remember someone telling me, wow, like, you're doing all this work. She didn't really tell me the risk, but the risk is that even lovers or partners will fall off, because if you're if you're healing these wounds, and it's very likely that you've pulled in somebody who is narcissistic or has narcissistic tendencies into your life as a love partner because you didn't know any better. And as you do this, as you are healed and you're showing up in this healed way, they will not be able to stand it. And so you may find yourself with people like that exiting your life where you didn't expect it. That wasn't what you expected to happen as part of the journey, but that is what will happen. And it's for your greater good, right? Because you can't have anyone in your energy who's eating away at you, who's not respecting your boundaries, who's not and you will not allow it. And actually, your spirit team will make them fall off, because your spirit team will not allow it either. Once they realize that you are healed, that you've done the work, that you are now the healed healer, because now you have to take this energy, and you have to, part of being the healed healer, and part of the reason why you went through all this pain, the 3 of Swords, the 10 of Swords, the 10 of Wands, endings, the Death card, right? And why the page has turned, the world, the new beginnings, all these blessings that are coming into your life to get to your star. The reason that you've done this, the reason why you've gone through this journey of the empath, is so that you can heal others, so that you can show others how to heal themselves while still being healed yourself, while continuing to heal yourself without overgiving. And so you can't have people in your life who are going to pull you from your star, to pull you from your destiny. There's a reason why you chose to come here and take this journey. There's a reason why Spirit, God, Jesus, whoever you believe in, the universe, has put you here to take this journey. And now that you're on this new journey, anyone who gets in your way will be set aside or removed or fall off. So for you, it's a blessing. It's a curse and a blessing, right? So you've already taken the journey of being alone, where other people have come into your life to try to take your journey from you, to maybe claim that they've done the healing that you've done and act out like as if they've done the healing that you've done. But someone cannot act even as much as they act. It shows in their aura that they haven't done the healing. It shows in the way that they interact that they haven't done the healing. And so you shine a light on that, and then people will not want to stay in your energy if they choose not to heal, if they choose not to do the work and heal themselves. So, with all that said, I just wanted to share with you that you're not alone on this journey. And one other thing that I wanted to say is that, part of your journey is where you are. You'll see a lot of tarot readers talking about Pisces are going to be moving. You're going to be moving. Even you're going to be doing something else. You're going to be moving yourself. It's because there are destined places. There are destined places along your journey. So even if they're not places that you've lived, maybe places even that you've visited throughout your life, that map into part of your destiny. And if you're interested in that. You're interested in how these destined places map out to carve your destiny and lead you to your star. Check out my podcast, Destined Places. It's astrocartography. It's based on astrocartography, which is taking your natal map and planting it, repositioning your natal map and all your signs, and putting it in positions that show you where you heal, where you find love, where you're destined, what areas where you're destined for success, where you might go and have some lessons where things might be harder for you, right? So this will help you to see how to connect with those places, and there's ways that you can connect. If you're interested in finding out, you can sign up for my PDF, and if you're interested, we can do a session together, because you can, even if you're not planning on traveling to these places, there's ways that you can remotely connect with the energy of those places to help you fulfill your destiny, because these destined places play, and sometimes in your life, if you're like me, like literally destiny took me to these places even before I knew about and learned about astrocartography. So when I mapped out, it was amazing to me, right? That when I mapped it out, that all the places I had been played a part in leading me to this part, leading me to my North Star, leading me to my purpose, leading me to my destiny, leading me to the love of my life. And it's pretty amazing. I mean, yes, this is for educational and for, it's not nothing is set in stone, right? But when I could see that I took this journey and how it just completely, my journey mapped out to just naturally, right? But I often think, had I known about this ahead of time, that I could have been more intentional about mapping out my destiny. But it's just sometimes things just go the way they're supposed to go. And for me, it's working out naturally. But if you have, you may find that your Venus line is placed somewhere where you never even thought you might travel to. Right? Or maybe it's somewhere you did think about traveling to. So you can make it intentional when you go to that. If you go to that place, you can make it intentional to do the healing work that you need to do at that time. And to find, Venus is about love, self-love. You might go to a Venus place and find that this is where you find self-love, the courage to bring in more of the self-love that you need. Anyway, that's a sidebar. But, as I was saying, you're just not showing up anymore the way that you used to. And you may look the same to people. They will see your glow though. When you speak, the way you walk, they will know something is different, but they might still be expecting more of the same. But when they interact with you, they will see that you have evolved, that you are at a different vibration now. And this, you won't even have to say anything for them to know. It will just shine through. All right. So anyway, if you're interested in astrocartography, check out my podcast. It's here on this channel. It's called Destined Places. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out. And I will see you in the next one, Pisces. Let's dream it, weave it, and live it. All right, Pisces. See you in the next one.